then when you look also, when you study Asiatic African culture, now and then, now it is muddied, but the plurality or the Elohim, which means mother, father. Anyone that knows linguistics, do some research. That's what Elohim means. So Elohim means mother, father, and yet it is told to the people who are taught this that that is the name of God, singular man, when the word means mother, father. Also, the word itself is plural. The singular is Eloah. So Eloah is singular, but now you're talking about planets. See, so now if they tell the people the truth, now they got to teach them the cosmological background, and then they got to teach them the truth of how all of the major holidays around the planet, no matter what so-called religion they're claiming, are all made fundamentally by the moon calendar. All clear? And a knowledge of the moon calendar, rooted in the culture. Everything they do is rooted around the moon. Now, it's never discussed, is it? Yep. Is it? Because now you got to go back to the elements, or what you call the non-monotheistic presentment of the God format. And this is, again, where you get, for the priesthood, the business of selling gods. And the gods are always costly. They always cost you. They're always broke. Let's cut through the chase. They're always broke. Yes. Meanwhile, they're bringing you things, but it's always a promise. So you're always paying for them, and their so-called service to you as gods are always one of these days in the Lord's time. And of course, generation passes, but hope and faith, the fiat is supposed to stay in you. You have the faith in it, the fiat in it. Now, so the point that I'm making, and it's not a condemnation of people who have been duped by this, is for them to recognize that they have been duped. What they do with the knowledge, that's on them to evolve and to grow up. And go back to the principles of their mothers and fathers. So you'll see one of the things that the priesthood has always done, because they understand divine law, is that they close the Torah, or they close the Tanakh, etc., with or what they call the Old Testament, or they'll call it Malachi. And then they'll say the Son of Righteousness arises with healing in his wings. And it says, turn your hearts back to your mothers and fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. What it really means is telling you, go back to the sapient culture, or the earth is cursed. Which means you yourself have control of the culture on the earth, and you are responsible to this. It says, the Son of Righteousness, and then says, spells S-U-N, that's not accidental. And the reason it's there is for those who really understand divine law, understand that divine law and ens legis operations, or legislated or civil law, are two different aspects. Whereas legislated, or what is called ens legis, civilization operations, is the evolved from the magi, which they were called magistrate. They're magicians. Those who know the magic, or the herbs, the earth, etc., who have taken advantage of an illiterate masses who they themselves promoted that illiteracy, and have actually been sucking off of them like vampires, and then promoting the idol god systems, because you have multiple layers by which that can be done, etc. They'll acknowledge the non-monotheistic or theistic platforms that already existed on the planets, and then give them personalities and pretend that they were rescuing the people from all these idol gods, when most of these different so-called gods were simply names given to elements, forces, powers, and epos. As an example, give it a mic. And remember, it's only complex because people have a lack of knowledge in traditions and culture, not because it's not understandable. It's easily understood. It can be understood by a child once they understand what came about or how we got to where we are. Then all you have to do is start doing a back trace, and logically and uncomfortably for many people, all these so-called dogmatic platforms that they've been calling their religious salvation falls apart. It doesn't change your life. I mean, you won't stop breathing, the water won't stop flowing, the sun won't stop coming up. However, your pockets will be heavier because the priesthood will not be in them as deeply as they have been. Go ahead, sis.
Peace. I just wanted to say or ask a question. Who is Amun-Ra?
Amun-Ra, when you do research, you're going to find out, let's do a reminder. Kaaba. In one corner, we got Aunt Hagar's grave. In the other corner, we got a meteorite. You know what that meteorite symbolizes?
No.
One, that we're not just on this planet, and it also symbolizes, because it's physical symbolism of other worlds. Okay?
I'm trying to grasp.
Yeah. Now, so this is what I'm presenting to you. Use your divine mind and stop trying to match it to what you've been told in the name of our beliefs. And just look at the logistics, the logic of it all. Why would they put a meteorite in Kaaba and then Hagar's grave in the other side? And then if you remove that cloth of Kaaba, it's feminine. Now, Aunt Hagar ruled in southwest of Mexico, southwest Africa, now called Central America, the Yucatan. Yet her grave is in Mecca on the other side. Then there's a meteorite there. I think it's just a nice jewel in there. These are keys to preserve culture, though culture has been lost. Are we clear? We traveled to other planets. That's number one. And beings from other planets traveled to here. Number two. Number three, interstellar travel is ancient, not new, and not future. Are we clear?
No.
We've been on this planet for millions of years, not a couple thousand. Everything that's been told to you by the priesthood and their rulers, who are also part of the priesthood, they've been lying to us all. They needed to control the people. This is why the monotheistic platform was set up by Amun-Ra, who's also can be called Yahweh.
So, does Prophet Muhammad have anything to do?
Fictional. Prophet Muhammad is, in the priesthood, Prophet Muhammad is the northern and southern hemisphere of this universe from the view of the planet Earth and cannot be painted or imaged because there's too many stars to map. For the masses, he's a physical man for control purposes. For the scientists, for the priesthood, it is the universe, northern and southern hemisphere of the universe from the view of the planet Earth, and cannot be painted and cannot be made an image of, for there's too many of them. So symbolically, you'll see the juntas, or what we call energy centers or the pyramids, multiple levels. Energy centers and over points, they would be used for navigation from outside coming in, and also in certain areas they're used for sacrificial altars. That's a fact. Also, symbolically, because the crystalline form The smallest form, when you go beyond the quark, you go to atom, then you go quark, and you go beneath. For the electric, for the visible magnification, and for what electrical signals will show, everything is formulated from a crystalline form. And thus the pyramid is the symbol for civilization on this planet, not just this one, on others too. And that, and in your secret societies, they would refer to sometimes the pyramid, the symbol, as Muhammad's mountain. And what that would symbolize for those who evolved into the cosmoculture of the universe. Since if you, being a woman, were taken into a secret society, as an example, they call them different names: Eastern Star, Daughters of Isis, Daughters of Esther, Easter, Esther, Istarte. Yeah, get over it. And then they give you a pyramid too, and they give you that jewel, that pyramid with the eye of Allah on it, etc., which means you were taken to the mountaintop. And so if you see somebody use the code word, "I've been to the mountaintop," what they told you they passed their 33rd degree. In the knowledge of humanity relative to mother and son, sometimes referred to as Masonry, i.e. Islam, i.e. Sufism, i.e. Sabaism, Gnosticism, and they get different degrees, and all of this is earth culture. And then to keep the masses from it, you tell them it's evil or it's devil worship so that they don't study it, so they don't recognize real culture on the planet and dump all the dogma systems that they've been told is religion, which they'll discover is all fiat, all of it's fiat. Does it mean that there's no good in it? Do you comprehend where I'm coming from? So I'm not condemning people don't equate it with morals and ethics, just put it that way. Meaning that person needs not go to the mosque, church, synagogue, temple to be moral. That's the natural responsibility of beings that are called human. And the fundamental consciousness of right and wrong is with you when your mother shed you. There ain't no man teach you, ain't no man say you nothing. You already know it by nature. Mother, matter of fact, mother didn't teach, because I remember when I was in the crib.